Okay, so this was the first trade I took on my funded account. I'm risking 0.5%, which is half of what I usually risk per trade. On my eval account, I risk 1% per trade. Uh, I am looking to make sure that I give myself the best chance possible of maintaining this funded account. So I'm risking 0.5% per trade. Um, Now, as you can see, the move was eventually made, at least to my initial partial profit line. And there was, here's what I'll say. I understand, or when I got into this trade, I understood that it was possible that I get taken out because of how deep into a premium we were. But I'm not going to not enter a trade based off of premium. I'm just going to take it into account. The setup was here that I liked and that followed my trading plan, and I'll kind of get into that. So again, we were trading and we still are trading inside of this 4-hour fair value gap. So we have our higher time frame PD array. On top of that, there's a sweep, equal highs above, right? So we have our draw as well, our draw on liquidity that we want to see. You can see the sweep here as well. This was the candle I ended up getting in off of, this blue one right here, so you can get an idea of, that long wick. It was a nice candle to enter in off of with the sweep there. And then obviously the distribution played out well, where we broke structure, we created a nice push to the upside where I entered in off of this fair value gap tap, and then from there you can see what happened. I stepped away from the charts after this because I had to be somewhere. If I didn't have to be somewhere, my second entry and my final trade of the day would have been caught here. As you can see, we broke structure again, still trading inside that 4-hour fair value gap. The sweep still is the same, right? Like the setup is still the same. It's just a second opportunity to get in. I would have been entering in off of here, stop underneath the lows, but I've loved that there were smooth lows underneath here. No, but it's not going to make me not enter. And then honestly, probably would have just ended up taking the whole trade off here for 1 to 2. That would have been where I would have re-entered. Again, wasn't at the charts at this point. I had to be somewhere, so I was only able to take one trade this AM session. We'll see what the PM session gives us. But again, I followed my trading plan with this setup, so I'm not upset at it whatsoever. Of course, wish the first trade on the funded was a winner, but at the end of the day, I'm giving myself a chance here to succeed with only risking 0.5%. It allows me with essentially the ability to lose 8 trades in a row before losing the account, which, I mean, at the end of the day, is it possible to get on a losing streak that large? It is. But I'm giving myself much more of a fighting chance than risking 1% of my account per trade and only having 4 trades, for a 4-trade buffer essentially. But yeah, I mean, again, the sweep, the higher time frame PD array, which was the 4-hour fair value gap, smooth highs above, distribution, everything that we needed here was present. So, I had to execute, and I executed. I would have been more upset if I didn't execute on this trade, and it went my direction. So I'm happy that I executed. Sometimes you lose in trading. That's literally like you can't win them all. So, yeah. We'll see what the PM session brings us. I mean, I like the fact that these highs are still intact. We're still trading within this 4-hour fair value gap. So let's see, 130, what price looks like, and we'll go from there. But yeah, so lost around, 1 second. I gotta pause this. Can I? Oh, I can't pause it. Damn it. I think I lost around like $215 or something like that was how much I ended up risking. It was 2 contracts, so 2 minis or micros, sorry. So yeah. Psychology wise, felt fine. Part of the reason is, again, I'm risking 0.5%, so I guess there's, but yeah, I felt fine psychology wise. I didn't really feel much different, being that it was on a funded rather than an eval. Um, and yeah, I mean, I've had this funded account for, almost 2 weeks now, if not 2 weeks, and this is the first trade I've taken on it. I've just been extremely patient. And this was the first setup that I really, really liked. There was a few setups last week that I liked. One setup I left the chart too early for, which I was upset with myself because I actually didn't have to be anywhere. I just went to the gym too early. Today I had to be somewhere, so it is what it is. I missed the second setup. And that last Monday was a short that I really liked, but it was at an all-time high. It ended up playing out perfectly. I just didn't want that to be the first trade of my funded, so that one I probably thought too much about and should have just taken, but that's okay. But yeah, so we'll see what the PM session brings us. But that is the recap of my first trade on my funded account and the first trade of the day today. We'll see if there is a second opportunity or not.